Hello and good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you all, the good and wonderful people of YouTube. POTT, hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. I hope that you are suitably as chilled out as I am after that intro jam. That really... I need a cup of tea and to just be sat down, well laid down now. I feel really kind of like cozy. Anyway, that's thanks to this pedal. This is the Valeton GP200. That's what this video is all about, people of YouTube. We are checking this thing out today. This has been very kindly sent to me by the very nice people at Anderson's, who asked would I like to try one, and I said yes I would, because I've seen these around and never actually played one. I never actually tried one, and I've always wanted to know kind of like, you know, what I think to them, so to say, and bring it to you awesome people out there. So well, let's just cut to the chase. Do I like it? Yes. Do I love it? No. I would happily go to a gig with it, but I would feel I was missing certain things. I do like the sound of the pedal, and again, what I'll do in a minute, people of YouTube, is I'll show you the sounds I have programmed into this thing. So I have a clean tone, a clean 2 tone, which is the one you heard in the intro jam, not the ambient thing. I love me ambient stuff. I've got distortion and I've got a solo boost, because my main thing when I get one of these things is I want to know if this would work live. If it doesn't work live, I'm really not interested. This would work live, which I'm very, very happy about. But it has a glaring problem. And it's a very, very big problem. And it's the same problem the New X Trident has as well. But the New X Trident, anyway, isn't as bad as this one. And that is change time from patch to patch. You can actually set this pedal up to be like in stomp box mode. So basically what you can have is, say, like, you know, channel A will be like a distortion, B will be a chorus, C is the delay, D is whatever else, you know, a frog on holiday in Tangiers. And that kind of eliminates that, but that didn't work for me. I tried that and I didn't like the sounds I was getting. Plus I wasn't getting the clean tone I've got set up in here that I like, my dirty kind of John Frusciante inspired clean tone, didn't work with any of the distortion pedals or overdrive pedals that are in here for me. I didn't like it. And also, I didn't like, for the clean tone, I was using a model of a Roland jazz chorus, which is really weird, because I really don't like the jazz chorus, but I always find the models of them are really good. In my Zoom G2.1U, forever I've used the Roland jazz chorus. Model in there. I don't know why, it just sounds the best to me. But every time I plug into an actual Roland jazz chorus, I hate them. But that's me. But I'm using like a jazz chorus in here combined with an overdrive pedal. I forget which one it is now, the model in here, to get that dirty clean tone. But to get full out distortion wasn't happening. It just was really fizzy and just lacking and horrible. So the stomp box mode, although really, really cool, just didn't work for me. But I do like it has that function, and it's something to bear in mind, people of YouTube, if you are after something like this for stomp box mode. It's really, really cool. So I went back to using it in the way that I kind of usually use multi-effects units, which is kind of like to have a clean, another clean, a distortion, and a solo boost, and obviously, because it's got the expression pedal, a wah-wah pedal. And again, I want to know if I could go to a gig with just this, not caring about what amp I've got, just this, and be happy with my sound. And to a point, yeah. But that change over time between distortion and clean, which I'll show you in a minute, YouTube, is very annoying. And it doesn't just cut out. What it does is it fades out. Like if you're on clean, say you're going from clean to distortion, what it'll do is go from clean to distortion in this weird way of, it'll fade out the clean and then fade in the distortion. Now, I have looked around to see if you can get rid of that on the pedal, and I can't find any way of getting rid of that. I don't know if that's just me being thick, because again, this took me a bit to understand. That's another thing as well, people YouTube. it's very simple once you understand it. And, you know, I always read manuals when it comes out to multi-effects units. Single unit pedals, I don't read manuals. I just want to play with the things and turn the dials. These things are slightly different. And I always read the manuals on these things. Apart from the... sorry, actually, I tell you a lie. I did read this when I got my Zoom G2. I read the manual on that one. The only multi-effects pedal I've never ever read a manual to, and I'm looking up there because there's one up there, is the Line 6 HX, which just to me is still, well, I'll talk about that in another video. But let's go back to this. So that changing is very, very annoying. It's very, very annoying. Other positive side though, this thing sounds really good. I would have to spend a bit more time tweaking it, although I don't really have many more places to go EQ-wise on this pedal. But I'm happy with the sound. I would go to a gig with this, and just this, and get through the whole gig with this. I'd be quite happy to have my 2 clean tones with my little ambient thing. I've got my main distortion tone, which cleans up on the volume control, and I've got my solo boost for, you know, for volume jumps for solos. And it's really cool on the back. You've got all the, you know, you've got your MIDI in and out, so you've got your XLR line out, headphone, ground lift switch, so if it's buzzy at a gig you can get rid of that. Stereo out, you got an effects loop in there, auxiliary in, import expression pedal foot switch. It's got it all kind of thing. It's got a lot of bells and whistles, and kind of like will do all. And also I really like this. This is really cool, POTT. If you look at the front foot switches compared to the back ones sit up really high, so you're never gonna hit the lower ones by accident, which is really, really cool. I like that. It's really that's using the old noggin, that is. Anyway, I think that's enough talking. Like I say, this thing has pros and cons. But do I like it? Yeah, I don't love it, but I do like it. I would pick the NUX Trident over this personally, even though it doesn't have the expression pedal, the NUX Trident. But I just feel the Trident sounded better. Also, I find the distortions in this pedal to be a little bit thin. The distortions in the NUX Trident were thin as well, but they were a bit beefier. They had a bit more presence to them. The distortions in the I've tried everything, POTT. I'm actually running the bass flat out in this pedal on every patch just to get it have some body. The NUX Trident I didn't have to do that. You know, I didn't have to crank the bass and stuff like that to get it to sound big. This one I had to turn up a lot, and it kind of made me feel, is this kind of a pedal designed more for that kind of like, you know, playing through kind of a flat response speaker kind of thing. Although you can, you know, you set it to a guitar amp setting, which what I've done. I'm running it on the guitar amp setting. You can change it to, if you're running it through flat response speakers or just into an interface or anything like that, then you have a setting for that. I've got it set to go through a guitar amp because that's what I know and love. I don't like the feel of flat response speakers. I've tried them and it just feels weird to me. It just feels weird. I think it's because I've used amps for so long. It's just not right. It doesn't feel right to me. I could happily get along with it, but like, you know, I'd always feel like I'm missing something. Anyway, the presets in this thing aren't that great either. I've got to say that as well before we get into sound examples. I thought the presets were a bit meh. Like, you know, I don't know what they would work on to sound good. I'm guessing, again, flat response speakers. If you plug this into like a flat response speaker, I'm probably sure or into the effects loop of an amp, which I don't like. I hate effects loops. I just don't like the way they sound and feel sterile. I'm sure the presets might sound better than they do for the front end when the EQ's active on the amp, but it's not the way I do things. And I want to know if I bought something like this, or I had to rely on something like this for gigging, it has to work in a way that I know and understand. It's no good saying to, you know, to somebody who does no experience in something, like, you know, like, this is what you've got to kind of do, so to say. It's not going to make you feel very comfortable. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like I say, I always get, when I get these things, I want to know if they're going to work live, so I set them up for live immediately. Another thing as well why I choose the NUX over this one is this does have one button here called the control. When you're in patch mode, so basically like, you know, how I've got it set up, so A is clean, B is clean, C is distortion, D is boost. The control button here, you can flick in and out effects. So on my clean tone, on the control, it brings in a chorus. On clean 2, it brings in a chorus, a delay, and a reverb. I like the fact you can have multiple things assigned to the control, and it's very easy to assign things. It really is. And also on C, the distortion, I've got a delay, and on D, I've got a delay as well, which is kind of like what I would use. Like I say, I would happily use it live, but I'd always feel like I'm not 100% happy with how full things sound, especially with distortions. Anyway, that's far too much talking. Let's get it plugged back in, and let me show you some of the sounds. So first thing I'll do is I'll just run you through my settings, my sounds that I've got. So first one you'll hear is my clean sound, my basic clean sound. I'll kick the chorus on over the top of that. Then you'll hear clean 2 on its own, and then I'll hit the control button and you'll hear that kind of the ambient intro sound. Then you'll hear distortions with delay and wah, and then I'm going to kick on the solo boost as well to let you hear the volume jump. And also, when I flick between clean and distortion, which will be the ambient, I'll turn the ambience off beforehand. When I go from clean to distortion, check out that volume thing it does, where it fades out the clean and brings in the distortion. It's really distracting and useless for live, in my opinion, because if you need to, literally go, if you're doing a song that requires you to go from clean to distortion in a microsecond, this won't do it. And again, I don't know if it's something that I'm doing. There's a thing in here that can get rid of that. I don't know, but that's not a good idea. And like I say, the New X had it as well. There's a slight cut off where you go from clean to distortion, but it's nowhere near as bad as this one. The fade just makes it more drastic. But what gets my goat, POTT, and this is my last point, I promise, is my Zoom G2.1U that came out in 2003, doesn't do that. My Zoom 606, which came out in 2000, doesn't do that. And I've tried a lot of multi-effects units over the years that don't do this. Yet the newer ones I've tried do this. What happened? Anyway, let's make some noise with the Valeton GP200. And as I say, what's your thoughts, POTT? And also, let me know what you thought to the sounds as well. Anyway, let's get to make some noise. A lot of talking. Okay, YouTube, there you go. That's how I've got this thing set up. And like I say, my main thing when I get a pedal like this, or pedal in general, is I want to know if it'll work live for me, the way I've got it set up. And this one does to an extent. That fading thing between the patches is enough to drive you insane. Hopefully you can hear that quite well, like, you know, hopefully you heard it. And also the sound... the sound is good. It is a good sound. It just feels a little bit anemic to my actual live pedal board with individual pedals, like the Golden Plexi, the Marshall Governor 2 Plus, the DS2, the Vox Wah. You know, the distortions and the clean tones, they don't quite sound as big and as full. You know, they sound a little bit thinner, a little bit more brittle. What do you reckon, POTT? Let me know in the comment section below if you thought that as well. Let me know. I'm very curious to read your thoughts on this one. But would I... Yeah, like I say, I keep saying it. Would I go to a gig with it? Yeah, I would. I would happily go to a gig with it. Like I say, that switching thing would bug the living bejesus out of me. But I would happily be able to get through a gig with this thing. I think, to be honest with you, what I'd mainly do is leave it on my distortion patch and just ride the volume control and only go to the clean and the ambient sound as and when I needed it. I'd probably just flip-flop between the rhythm and solo sounds and obviously the wah-wah and flick delay on and off. But even then, that'd be a problem because I've got to go to solo and it'd do that fade out, fade in thing, and it'd be frustrating. Again, I don't know if that's just me. People of Tube, if you know this pedal better than I do, which is very probably, let me know if there's anything you can do about that. Anyway, before we kind of like wrap up this video, so to say, I just want to talk about how to set this pedal up. It's very, very easy. So at this point in time, I'm going to talk you through my settings as well, and I am not using much on this pedal at all, because again, I don't need lots of things. I want a good kind of like dirty, clean, overdriven kind of pedal. I want a good distortion. I want a wah-wah, a delay, a chorus, and like an ambient thing, and that's me happy, you know what I mean? And most of those things are very, very similar. Anyway, I'm not really one for having loads and loads of stuff. I've actually kind of slimming down, apart from my Looper pedal board, which is just there for variety. But anyway, live, I don't like a lot of stuff on the floor. That's what I should be saying. I don't like tons of stuff on the floor live anymore. It drives me insane. Having loads of pedals like in a YouTube kind of filming video setup thing, I love to pieces, because it gives me, especially when I'm doing those big long improvisational songs on guitars, I like to have variety of sound. Live, I don't need that, and I don't like that, so I have what I need. Anyway, so let's talk about how to set this thing up. It's very, very simple. So for instance, like, if you're starting with like nothing on, so to say, and say I want my clean tone. So what I would do for my clean tone is I would engage an amp model. In this case, my clean tone is the Roland Jazz Chorus model. It's called the J120CL. And a overdrive pedal to go over the top of that to boost it. Just to kind of like, so I've got a nice kind of like... And the reason I'm using an amp model, because I'm sure a lot of people are like, why are you using an amp model? You've got an amp. I like the extra added EQ I have when I have an amp model engaged in a multi-effects unit. Like, the amp EQ on there is all well and good, but I set the pedals up to the EQ I have on my amps. I never change the EQs on my amps. So once my amps have an EQ that works with my main pedal board, these have to go to that EQ. So having an extra amp model with extra EQ helps that no end. And that's basically all I need for my clean tone. I don't need reverb because the amp's got it. Although if I wanted reverb, I can just check. This is the reverb button here. I can just press it, and then a reverb will come up. That's nice and easy. And then to kind of like just change it, I just basically have to click on it, and then use the dial here to go between two pages of the effects. These ones here are what changes the parameters of the amp, pedal, chorus, effect, whatever you're using. It's very, very simple. So, for instance, like, let's start here. I'll just start there, actually. So, on my Roland Jazz Chorus thing, I've got it set up with the gain at 70, bass is all the way up on 100. Like I say, I'm running the bass really, flat out on this thing to try and get it to sound bigger, and it's never enough. So, I have a bass all the way up, I have middle at 90, going to page 2, I have treble all the way off, and the bright switch all the way off. And then onto the pedal that I have over the top of that to give it the dirty clean thing. It's called the Scream OD. So I'm guessing it's like a tube screamer kind of thing. Sounds like a tube screamer. But anyway, I have gain at 70. The tone is on 0. Volume is at 60. Fat is off and air is on. And that's it. And then basically all I've got is when I press the control, a delay comes on, which is just a chorus comes on the clean, which is just, I've got C chorus, and I've got it on mode 2. That's it. And that's your lot, And it's very easy. And like, if you wanted to kind of like, say, add an EQ section to that, you just click that, and it turns on an EQ pedal. If you want to add another modulation, you can do that. Delay, just there, easy controllable. It's very self-explanatory, which I like. It was like the New X was. This one's a little bit more in depth than the New X. The New X has a lot more dials to control each parameter. It's a lot more like an actual kind of like pedal. This one's a bit more, it's all on the LCD. This one does have volume, gain, presence, bass, middle, treble here as well, but I've never touched them. I don't really know why they're there. You could easily get... I'm guessing it's to do it on the fly, but you can do it on the fly from these 3 main parameter changing things and the parameter kind of dial. So I don't really know why they're needed. It doesn't really make any sense. You've got a master volume there. I always put the master volume at half volume on these multi-effects units and just go from there. I find as you turn them up, they get thin and brittle and fizzy and horrible. Up the top here, you've got your kind of like you've got your global settings button there, which kind of does all sorts of things. That's where you kind of change your input output to, if it's a computer or an amp, what kind of so to say. Drum machine. Does what it says on the tin. And then you got your save button there. So to save these things, you have to kind of like press it once, press it again, and then it's saved. So it's a lot of saving. So the expression pedal can do volume Y, it can do anything you want. We'd be here all day if I went into kind of exactly how to do everything on this pedal. There's a lot to get into, PeopleTube. It really is. But I like it. I do like it, and like I say, it's gig worthy. The volume thing between the patches, that fade out, fade in thing, is just bloody stupid. He says with spite in his voice, but it is what it is, you know. But it is a good pedal. It really is a good pedal. I do like the way it sounds. Again, massive thanks to Andertons for sending me this to review. I really, really do like it. Like I say, I would choose the NUX Trident over this, but it is a good option. You know what I mean? It really is a good option, and it does sound good. I'm about 80% happy with the sounds I've got. With the NUX, I was probably about 85, 88% happy with the sounds I got. But it is good. PeopleTube, what are your thoughts? Let me know. And if you've got one of these, let me know what your thoughts are. And also, did you find it lacking, if you've got one, in the bass department, in like, you know, the big sound department? I don't know. Oh, it's got a looper as well, PeopleTube. It has, if you hold the control button, it does have a 45-second looper, which I think, if I'm correct, no, you can't. I thought you might be able to do the line 6 thing of like, if you slow it down, because you can have half speed and reverse. If you slow it down, you could get double that, but you can't. It's just 45 seconds, which is a long time for a looper. And again, it's very easy controllable down here. I would always set there's a pre and a post thing. That basically means your effects. I would always have it set to kind of like having effects not in the way of the looper. Because like if you're doing a loop on the clean and then you click the distortion, the loop goes distorted. It's ridiculous. I don't know why it'd be set up default like that. Also, having the record volume and the playback volume at 100 as well is kind of like the way to go. If you got the record volume lower and the playback volume lower, it's kind of, yeah, you get lost in it, basically. But it's a great pedal. Really cool. I like the fact you can have 4 presets. It's kind of more than I need, but it is nice to have. And again, I'm sure a lot of people will thingy that. But again, I just need the 2 cleans, distortion, solo boost. That'll do what it needs to do. Wah wah. Very cool. Very cool. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments about how many times have I said that now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. I don't think there is. No, there isn't. Like, oh yeah, and changing patches is easy as well. You just use these 2 here. You can see them blinking at me now. So basically, that's gone into preset type thingy. That's going up into kind of like the random presets this pedal has. Shall we go through some of the presets, PeopleTube? Shall we do that? Let's do that. Which way is it? Is that number 1? Yeah, okay. So let's just go through some of the presets. So let's try 50s Plexi, which is a bit weird because, you know, 50s Plexi? What's that supposed to be? Weird. But let's play with some of the things before we wrap this up. I don't know if it was true. Some of those were quite fun, actually. I did quite the Andy Timmons inspired one. That was quite nice. Anyway, sorry for pulling you about as well. I wanted you to see what they were saying. I think you could probably see anyway. Maybe, I don't know if you could read the LCD screen or not. But yeah, the presets they are what they are. I mean, if you're a total beginner, that's going to be fun. In all fairness, if you're not a beginner like me just then, that was fun. Because it just does things to you when you have like somebody else's settings and somebody else's preset. It's bizarre. But anyway, I would never ever use them because again, I'm just a stick in the mud who likes that the sound he has in his head, and I just couldn't deal with the preset side of it. But it was fun. Anyway, people, what do you think of the preset? And on that note, people of Tube, I think it's a C sharp. I don't know. Yeah, thank you very much indeed for watching. Again, massive thanks to Andertons for sending this, the Valeton GP200 multi-effects processor. You can use this for bass as well, POTT. It has bass function as well. It's not just guitar, and I'm sure you could run it through keyboards, pianos. You can do all sorts with this thing. You don't have to. It's not just guitar. You could run synths through it. You could run anything through this thing. I'm pretty sure it'd be fun for anything. I'm going to get Queenie to try it on the bass at some point as well. I'm curious what she could do with this on bass. I'd like to know. Especially with her kind of soundscapey stuff. It'd be very, very curious. Very, very curious. But yeah. What do you think, POTT? Good, not good? Let me know what your thought is. But say the glaring problem with this thing is that bloody changeover thing. That doesn't happen if you have it in Stompbox mode, where these are all different effects. I didn't like that. It didn't work for me, so I have to deal with that now. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's pretty good. And again, like I said at the beginning, I like it, don't love it, but it is good. Let me know what you thought. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, POTT. If you like the channel and the videos I do here, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. It's what keeps this channel going. If you are a patron at Patreon, legendary human being, thank you very much indeed. I really, really appreciate your support. Words do not describe. They really don't. They would fall short, but I am so grateful. Thank you so much indeed. And yeah, links to my Patreon are linked description below, as well as links to my Bandcamp where you can listen to some of my music. New trio music coming soon as well. Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, POTT. I always like reading your comments. Until next time, have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. See you later.